In 1849, in the ancient city of Nineveh in northern Iraq, archaeologists sifted through dusty remains hoping to find records to prove that Bible stories were true. What they found instead was one of the oldest libraries in the world. Inscribed on crumbling clay tablets was a 4,000-year-old story, so riveting that the first person to translate it started stripping from excitement. The Epic of Gilgamesh starts with Gilgamesh, king of the city of Uruk, crashing every wedding and sleeping with the bride before she can sleep with her husband. To tame Gilgamesh, the goddess Aruru created a rival called 𝐂𝐴𝐽. 𝐂𝐴𝐽 lived beyond the city's walls, where chaos reigned and wild animals, invaders, and evil spirits prowled. After a priestess of the goddess Ishtar seduced 𝐂𝐴𝐽, the wild animals beyond the wall rejected him, and he ventured into the city. There he encountered Gilgamesh, who was up to his usual tricks. 𝐂𝐴𝐽 stepped in to stop him. The two men wrestled through the city streets, almost perfectly matched until Gilgamesh won the fight by a hair. Afterwards, they were inseparable. With his new friend, Gilgamesh turned his attention from the brides of Uruk to proving his strength in combat. They set out to slay Humbaba, a creature with 1,000 faces who guarded the trees of the forest of cedar. They tracked Humbaba and ambushed him. Cornered, he begged for his life, then cursed them as Gilgamesh dealt the final blow. Back home in Uruk, the goddess Ishtar took a romantic interest in Gilgamesh. Knowing she tended to lose interest and curse her former flames, Gilgamesh refused her advances. So, Ishtar unleashed the Bull of Heaven on Uruk to destroy crops and kill people. When Gilgamesh and 𝐂𝐴𝐽 slay the creature defending the city, the gods kill 𝐂𝐴𝐽. He entered the House of Dust, the shadowy Mesopotamian underworld where the spirits of the dead knelt eternally on the ground eating dirt and drinking stone. Grieving for 𝐂𝐴𝐽 and terrified of meeting this fate, Gilgamesh set off beyond the cosmic mountains to seek immortality. He passed scorpion people and groves of gemstone trees, traveled beneath the hills, and outran the rising sun until he finally came to the end of the world, where he found a bar. The bartender was a goddess named Shiduri, who urged Gilgamesh to give up his quest. She told him all mortals must die, but until death comes, he should enjoy his life. But Gilgamesh refused to give up. Reluctantly, Shiduri gave him directions to cross the waters of death and meet the immortal man Utnapishti. The gods had granted Utnapishti immortality following a great flood, during which he built a boat, loaded 2 of every animal onto it, and landed on a mountain peak. Utnapishti also encouraged Gilgamesh to accept that death comes for everyone. But Gilgamesh still would not budge. So Utnapishti told him that the gods might grant him immortality if he could conquer sleep. Gilgamesh intended to stay awake for 7 days, but fell asleep immediately. Utnapishti then told him about a magical plant that grew at the bottom of the ocean and granted eternal youth. Though Gilgamesh successfully retrieved the plant, a snake stole it on his way home. But when Gilgamesh saw his beautiful city again, he made peace with his mortality and vowed to spend his lifetime doing great deeds. He wrote his story on a lapis lazuli tablet and buried it under the city walls for future generations to find and learn from. The tablets uncovered in Nineveh were part of the library of the Assyrian king, Ashurbanipal. Though the story is mythical, Gilgamesh is the real king of Uruk. Versions of his tale date to 2000 BCE, perhaps even longer ago, and still echo through literature today.